Hello and welcome back to Ajival Diaries. I'm your host Reena and I'm thrilled to have you here today. Today we are going to talk about something creative, fun, and very effective for improving your English writing a short story in English. Now you might be thinking, but I'm not a writer. How can I write a story? Don't worry, writing a short story is not about being a professional author. It's about learning how to use your imagination, express your thoughts, and practice building sentences in English. In fact, storytelling is one of the oldest and most natural ways humans learn and communicate. So let me take you step by step into this fascinating process. Let's start with a simple truth. Every story has three parts: a beginning, a middle, and an end. That's it. If you can remember this, you can write any story no matter how short. Imagine you want to write about a boy who finds a lost puppy. The beginning introduces the boy and sets the scene. One sunny afternoon, a little boy named Arjun was walking home from school. The middle introduces the problem. Oh, on his way, he heard a soft whimper and discovered a tiny puppy hiding under a bench. And the end gives the resolution. Arjun decided to take the puppy home, and from that day, they became best friends. See how simple that was: beginning, middle, and end. That's the foundation. Now let's talk about characters and setting. Every story has characters, people, animal, or even objects, and every story happens somewhere: a park, a village, a school, or even inside your imagination. When you describe characters or settings, you bring your story to life. Instead of just saying a boy found a puppy, you can say a curious little boy with bright eyes found a shivering puppy under the wooden bench in the park. Adding details makes your English richer. But here is the secret: you don't need to use big, complicated words. Simple words can also create powerful stories. What matters is how you arrange them. Let me share a little story from my own practice. When I first started writing in English, I kept my stories very short. I wrote about a girl who wanted to bake a cake, but she forgot the sugar. The whole story was just 5 sentences long. But when I read it out loud, I felt proud. Why? Because I had created something new using English. That small story boosted my confidence. Now let's make this interactive. I'll guide you through building a small short story right now. Ready? Let's start with a prompt: a rainy evening. Beginning: it was a rainy evening and Mira was waiting at the bus stop with her umbrella. Middle: suddenly she noticed an old man struggling to cross the road in the heavy rain. End: she ran forward, held his hand, and helped him cross safely. That evening, her small act of kindness warmed her heart more than the tea she drank at home. There you go, a full short story in just 3 steps. Now let's talk about why writing short stories is so useful for learning English. First, it improves your creativity and sentence formation. Instead of memorizing sentences, you are building them. Second, it expands your vocabulary because when you write, you naturally search for new words. Third, it helps you practice tenses, past, present, and future without even realizing it. For example, in stories, we often use the past tense. She walked into the room and smiled. But sometimes we mix it with other tenses. She had just finished her homework when her friend called. This is how storytelling trains you to use grammar naturally. Now, how can you practice writing short stories every day? Here is a simple method. Pick a prompt. It could be one word like rain, friendship, or journey. Write 3 sentences: one for the beginning, one for the middle, and one for the end. Expand each sentence with the small details. Read it aloud to yourself and notice how your English flows. The beauty of this exercise is that you don't need hours. Even 5 minutes a day is enough to create a small story. Before we wrap up, let me give you a quick challenge. Tonight, I want you to write a short story starting with the sentence, when I opened the door, I couldn't believe what I saw. Where will your story go? Maybe it's a surprise birthday party. Maybe it's an old friend. Maybe it's something funny or even magical. The choice is yours. But remember, keep it simple, keep it clear, and most importantly, enjoy the process. So, my dear listeners, always remember writing short stories in English is not about perfection, it's about practice, creativity, and confidence. Each story you write is a small step toward fluency. Thank you for joining me in today's episode. I hope this inspires you to pick up your pen or even just your phone and write a short story today. In the next episode, we will explore another exciting way to strengthen your English skills. Until then, keep imagining, keep writing, and keep bringing your stories to life. Take care and see you soon.